Hi, Beans. Thanks for joining me on DonnaJean's Coffee House of Horror. And I am here with the writer of Mr. Todd Martin, and we are going to talk about Shriekshow. Bom, 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 bom.
Hey guys, well, thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it. Just first and foremost, I wanted to remind everybody that the Shriek Show, the world premiere, is going to be at the Waynesboro Theater in Waynesboro, Pennsylvania. It's going to be Sunday, February 27th at 6 p.m. I think tickets are still available and everything. Unfortunately, I won't be there. I live in Kentucky, so it's quite a trek. So I wish I could be there for it, but unfortunately, maybe next time, So
Well, we will look forward to if it ends up being in any kinds of festivals, maybe we can have you included on the guest list, and that would be awesome.
Yeah, that would be awesome. So
now that premiere, and once again, that was Sunday, February 27th in Waynesboro, Pennsylvania. There's also going to be a cast and crew on hand to be doing a Q&A about that. So
right.
That will be pretty exciting.
Yeah, I know. Like I said, wish I could be part of that too, but like you said, maybe, if they show it closer to me, maybe I can be a part of that. We have a convention in Lexington, I believe in October, Scarefest, and hopefully we can get it shown there. And I'd be more than happy to show up. I didn't go to Scarefest the last couple of years because of COVID and everything, but I used to go pretty much every year and everything. I'm a huge Sleepaway Camp fan. That's like my favorite movie of all time. And I got to meet Felissa Rose there, and we stayed in contact. Of course, she's in Shriekshow, and I got to write her scene, and it was kind of like, a big deal for me that, I get to write her dialogue. So that's awesome for me. I've been a big fan ever since, God, I was about seventh grade or so when I first saw it. It's one of those movies that you can watch a million times and it never gets old. I met her and Jonathan Tiersten, who plays Ricky in it, and both of them are just class act. I talk to them on a regular basis.
Yeah, I actually I come to absolutely adore Felissa myself, and I've done a couple of interviews with her. And in fact, I sent her a text yesterday saying, hey, by the way, I'm so sorry for kind of getting to this last minute, and I know you're at an event, but if you can jump in for a minute or two, we're doing this Shriekshow interview. So it would be really nice if she could, and if she popped in, and Michael McGlynn had said that he would if he could. So if at all possible,
Right, that would be awesome.
Now, since you wrote some of the segments for Shriekshow, I understand,
right. Or yes, back in 2018, Tim Ritter, who did Truth or Dare, he was friends with Brad Twigg, and me and Tim have been friends for a while. I've been at a couple of movies that he's done, and he said, I've got a friend that is looking for a writer to do a wraparound segment, which turned out to be Shriekshow. So I wrote it, and Brad also had me come in and kind of tweak some of the other existing scripts a little bit, some of the segments. So I worked on the Cove Run segment. I worked a little bit on Night Kill, I believe is the name of the other one. So I got to do some rewrites on a couple of the other actual segments in Shriekshow, in addition to these wraparound. And Brad and I have worked pretty much nonstop together over the last couple of years. We did Death Board. I wrote it. Frames of Fear 3. I did one of the segments for Harvest of Horrors. I did a couple of segments. And, Brad's a class act. He's just a great guy all around. And I'm really happy to get to work with him on a regular basis. We worked with Rocky Gray from Evanescence recently, and we're doing a segment called Oh Man Gross for 1031 Part 3, which I think comes out maybe this year, next year. I think it's in post right now. So, but I stay pretty busy. Like I said, first thing I ever wrote, well, I've been writing for forever, but the first thing I ever wrote that actually saw the light of day, Stephanie Beaton, I had met her on a film set in Ohio years and years and years ago. And she did Tales from the Grave 2. It's an anthology. And my first Internet Movie Database credit is for that. In 2002, I wrote the segment called Angel for it. From there, I won a contest in Owensboro, Kentucky. My short film, Lucky, won first place and everything. And people that organized it was unscripted 3 film competition. People that put that together, I worked with them on Volumes of Blood, and I wrote 2 of the segments for it back in 2015. And I was going to be working on Volumes of Blood 2, but creative differences, I ended up leaving that project. So we'll just leave it at that. So
sometimes that happens. And actually, I doing a number of interviews with folks in the indie community, both the filmmakers and the actors, it's really cool to see when relationships work with people, and they do tend to stick together and work together time and again because they work so well together. And it's not surprising that once in a while that doesn't happen, but
right.
It's great when it does.
Yeah. I've been in a couple of films, like not huge parts, but I've worked with Tim Ritter a lot. Most recent when we did Sharks of the Corn, and I played this redneck mayor, and it was a lot of fun. It was probably the most fun I've ever had on a movie set. And Tim Ritter is just a class act too. You won't find a more down to earth, nicer guy than Tim, and that's cool. So with Shriekshow, I'm really excited. We've got a great cast. Brad Twigg is an awesome director. Dude is going places, and I'm really happy to work with him. But we have Felissa Rose.
The cast is amazing. I mean, Felissa.
Beverly Randolph. Tuesday Night.
Right.
Which it's funny because I used to have the biggest crush on Tuesday Night when I first saw Nightmare on Elm Street 4. And I was like, oh man, I love Kristen. And she, I know Rosanna Arquette, or not Rosanna, but her sister Patricia played her in the third one. And I thought that Tuesday was much better in the fourth one. And I was like really upset when she dies in the fourth one. So, but I had a huge crush on her back then. So, but we have those 3. We also have Matt Burns is in it. He was an awesome guy. And
you've worked with Matt before too, I understand. So
yeah, we just worked on a script together with myself and Matthew Furman, who worked on Russell Massacre. It's called Little Red Rosie. It's about a doll, and we haven't started filming it yet or anything. But Matt's a good guy. Awesome dude. We're working on another project. I'm working on a script for Brad called T-Rexorcist. It's about a T-Rex that's possessed. So
that sounds fun. That just sounds like really fun.
Yeah, I'm almost done with it. I've only got about 10 more pages, and then I'm going to jump into the next project for Matt Burns. So I stay pretty busy.
It sounds like it. Very busy with some good people, which is really
and
cool.
that makes a lot of difference when you get along. And Brad and I have never actually met in person or even talked on the phone, but we talk online a lot. And one day we're gonna have to get together and just hang out, have a beer, and
Well, maybe one day I could get him together with doing something like this too. That would probably be kind of like a homecoming of people that knew each other but never actually met.
Right. So, but yeah, the cast is amazing. Like I said, we've also got Luba Hanson is in it. She's awesome. Julio Bana Fernandez, and I'm a big fan of his. Dude, he always knocks it out of the park. It's just a great bunch of guys involved in this, and I think people are going to like it. It's got some the segment's a little bit of everything for everybody. So I think, fans are going to really dig it. It's been a long time coming. I know like I said, I started writing the wraparound back in 2018, and because of COVID and other issues, it's, things got delayed. And so, I hope everybody will dig it as much as I think they will. So
Now, let me ask you, being the writer, but also very obviously being the long-term fan, particularly Felissa Rose and Tuesday Night, throw Beverly Randolph in there too. I mean,
yeah.
Scream Queens. When you were writing any of this, did you in particular have them in mind for any of these characters when you were writing?
Thankfully, I didn't write Tuesday's stuff. Someone else wrote it, but I did write Beverly's and Felissa's. And Brad had told me that they were going to be in it, and he kind of told me, this is kind of the direction I want to go. So it was easy for me because I could picture both of them. And I'm a big Beverly Randolph fan too. Return of the Living Dead. I watched it not too long ago, and it was kind of surreal that I was like, hey, I actually wrote some of her lines.
That's actually one of my favorite movies. That's one of my feel-good movies. I love that.
Yeah. One of the first movies where the zombies run, and I saw it in the summer of '86. I'm showing my age here. I was in between 6th and 7th grade, and it kind of freaked me out. I was like, because it's the first time you ever see zombies run, but I love that movie. I just, for Christmas
send more cops.
I actually like the second one. I like the third one a lot too. It's got a different tone, but Melinda Clark in that, and I don't know, I think it's kind of depressing, and it's a totally different tone, but it's a great film. So, but yeah, once I knew that they were, and I got to admit, then when I was writing Felissa's lines, it was kind of like, normally I can write pretty fast, but it took me forever because I had to keep going back and rewriting it because I wanted it to be just perfect. So I was like, I don't want to screw this up. So, but I hope she's.
Would you give us just a brief synopsis of the film of Shriekshow? I know it sounds like it's an anthology, so there's some different stories.
Okay, so basically the wraparound is these 4 friends go to this abandoned carnival site, like an old state fair kind of circus sideshow kind of thing, and they meet the ringmaster, who is played by Chris Sobrocki, and he tells them all of the segment. That's the lead into each one of the segments. Cub Run is about a group of friends that are going on a fishing trip, and they're going into an area where there's a lot of missing people, and so they're going to run afoul of, I'm not going to give anything away here, but they find themselves meeting up with the thing or the person that's behind the missing people. There's also a segment that I didn't write. It's about a guy that is haunted when he was a kid. There's a thing with a clown that that killed some family members, and it comes back to bite him in the present, which is a pretty cool, really awesome little script. The last one, or the other one, is about a cult. These 2 FBI agents go to this little podunk town to investigate some weird goings on, and there's a nice little twist at the end. Turns out that people in the town aren't exactly what they seem. So, and that segment, it has Sasha Graham, who's also really an awesome person. She's in that, and James Edwards did. Her name is Krista, and I was just blown away by that movie. It's depressing, it's touching, and it didn't get as much love as it needed because I think it's so underrated. And I actually talked to James about it on the phone because I had reviewed it, and I told him, I was like, dude, this thing is just a masterpiece, and James is a great guy. So
it sounds as though there is so much promise. It sounds as though with Shriekshow that it has a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
And again, we just can't emphasize with the amazing cast, both old and newer indie people who are getting to be pretty well known, but are also really good.
Yeah. And I forgot Rick Germain is in it. Rick Germain is awesome.
Rick is awesome.
I have
also a
seen
kitty
so many
person.
of his movies. And he never fails to deliver. He knocks it out of the park too. So
Yeah.
but yeah, really excited to be a part of it. And like I said, I hope people enjoy it as much as I did writing it. And I know Brad and the guys had a great time making it. So hopefully, this will go down in history. It'll be up there with Creepshow and Tales from the Crypt and, all the best anthologies in the world. So
Exactly. Do you have any idea of the cast? Who is going to be there at the premiere for the Q&A?
I am not exactly sure. I know Brad will be there. I think Chris O'Brien is going to be there. I was trying to think. Bethany O'Shana, I think, is going to be there. And I'm not sure if Matt Burns will be there or not. So
He's always in Waynesboro, so he'll probably be there.
I was going to say, I think Matt's going to be there too. So
I'm guessing Rick maybe as well. So,
yeah.
So.
I did have like a kind of a list in my head of people that were going to be there just from talking. We had like a group or online
Right.
that we talk, and but I know there's going to be quite a few people there. So,
and just to throw out one more name of somebody, just because I adore her, Noelle Berger is
yes,
also in the film, and she's just a lovely human being as well. So
yes, she is. We also have Rebecca Reinhart. She was in Sharks of the Corn. I didn't get to work with her. They shot her scenes separately, but she's in that. She's awesome. Julianne Prescott's in it.
Oh my gosh, I love Julianne. I love that lady.
So, and it's a huge cast, and everybody in it is just absolutely awesome. Just a great bunch of people. So, like I said,
were you able to sit in on any of the filming when that was happening?
I wasn't actually, because I'm so far away from where they are and everything.
Right. Oh,
but,
shucks. So you don't have any secrets that you could share. Oh, well, that's all right. Actually,
not that I could think of.
You're the man with the whole storyline, so you've got all of that already up there.
Yeah. So I think of the three that are the two that I worked on. I like both of them, the actual segments. I think I like the cover on one a little better. It's Night Kill was really good too, but I had a blast writing the cover on one. So I think it's probably my favorite of the two. And which I do like the clown one too. It's really good. I think a lot of people will really enjoy that one. So
well, anything about clowns is already terrifying, even if it's not a scary clown.
yeah, and we have there's a lot of clowns that show up for the wraparound segment, and just a lot of cool stuff going on with the wraparound, which there's a nice little twist in the wraparound too. So we'll see, leaves things open maybe for sequel or two. So
that sounds awesome. Sounds awesome. So, okay, everybody out there, Shriekshow premiere February 27th, Sunday at 6 p.m., right?
6 p.m., yes.
At the Waynesboro Theater in Waynesboro, Pennsylvania. Cast and crew will be on hand for a Q&A after the screening. Get there.
Heck yeah.